Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. If this is your first time here, welcome to my beauty entertainment channel. Absolutely. So if you would like to follow me on social media, here's my Twitter and my Instagram. Go have fun, enjoy yourself on there. And if you would like to watch some of my recent videos, I cannot recall if they are right now, but they were, I did Selling Sunset Season 5 and then Bel Air before that. So I remembered, look at me. And today we're talking about another television show. Let me get my primer out. It's raining, so if the lighting gets weird, I can't change it. So we're gonna talk about another television show today. I'm very, very, very excited because this is one of my favorite shows last year. Wow, it's been a while. That came out last year, right? It better have been. The Wild on Amazon Prime. So I did a video on The Wild season 1. If you haven't watched that, go watch that. I remember what I said in that video, but also opinions change, so don't like try to clock me in my comments. If my opinions on characters changed, they didn't. So they didn't. So like, leave that alone. What I'm gonna do, we're just gonna go through each individual character like we usually do, and then talk about what I think about the show as a whole at the end. I'm trying a new foundation today. It's the Danessa Myricks, the Yummy Skin Powder. Was that what it's called? Yummy Skin Powder, yeah. I'm gonna try that today, which should be interesting. But let's get started. So we're first gonna start off with the boys camp, which were the new characters this season. Let's discuss. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't say anything. So the first the first character we have up is Roth. I don't really know what you want me to say about this one, because anything I say can't be more depressing than his life already is currently. His girlfriend is sick of his ass. His girlfriend is sick of him and thinks he's a loser. Thinks he's a plateauing loser, which is not necessarily true. He has a hard life, but I saw it in her eyes. She's not seeing it. She's not seeing it for him any longer, which is sad, I guess. But nothing I can really do about that. He got arrested like the day before he came here. Not the day, but a period before. Gretchen really she's so evil. Gretchen is so evil. Like, how does she be finding them? This is probably gonna be great. Okay. So after being arrested, after getting into a fight, he then is now on a deserted island, and he's on the deserted island, and I cannot express the deserted island, he decides to die on a hill of a violator. Of someone who violated a stranger. All he knows about this man is that he's a stranger who violated another stranger on this trip on a deserted island. He decided to die on the hill of defending a stranger who, I will repeat, sexually violated another person because Seth was the only person who was ever nice to him in his life. I don't know what else you want me to say, because that is downright depressing. That is downright depressing. I really couldn't bring myself to. I saw in his eyes he was really going through it, and I'm glad that Henry was there to help sort of like ease his whatevers, like thinking, oh, am I such an idiot, blah, 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 blah. No, Seth is manipulative, etc., etc., etc. However, that was a fascinating hill for you to die on. Raph, I don't know what reason I'm using a brush to apply this, because I saw that's how the girls did it. Again, smells fascinating. Smells like soap. Anyways, fascinating hill to die on. You don't know this man. All he was is nice to you. And was he even that nice to you? Or was he just always cracking jokes? Always geeking about something or the other. What are we laughing about? We're trapped. We're isolated. You guys had to kill a jaguar like last week. No. But Roth's life is sad. But I have nothing else to say. Because, okay, other people here had sad lives and they didn't think Josh was lying. I did not understand that. What would he have to lie about? What would he have to lie about? You're shipwrecked. Your plane crashed. You killed a jaguar. Men are ridiculous. Anyways, but those are really all my thoughts on Rap. I have absolutely no others because I'm glad he sees it now, but it's really sick that it took that instead of him just being like, you doing that to Josh was very fucked up. I don't fuck with you anymore. Sad it had to take this to get there. That's the only thing that's sad. Okay, I used one scoop. Not even a full scoop. There's still some left in here. I'm gonna try to get it out. I don't want to use my nail, but I used one scoop. It looks nice. It's my shade, which I'm happy about because I thought I was gonna be in between these two shades. I think this is shade 9. It looks really good. I also feel like I haven't put anything on, but that's clearly not true. But I feel like I haven't put anything on. It's a good match. Anyways, back to my point. Next character is the demon. The next character I'm going to talk about is Seth. There's not much for me personally to say here besides the fact that he's going to hell. I really would have preferred this season to end with him falling on one of those spears, but unfortunately I was not lucky enough to be able to witness that. Maybe in season 3. Hopefully in season 3. Hopefully those spears and that trap were transferred to this new Jurassic World-esque island. I will say, besides the fact that he's going to hell, I liked how the show, The Wild, and handling his character. I think they did a really good job, and I also think that's why I think a lot of people should watch this show. Because other teen dramas, in my opinion, would have tried to rehabilitate his character, would have tried to go down what Henry was talking about, how he's just a misunderstood, slighted kid with mommy issues. We do not care. We do not care. He's sick. Simple. It's very, very, very simple. It's very, very, very simple. It's not too complicated. No one does that out of nowhere. Even if they do, that's sick. That's sick. And speaking of his mother issues, I really don't care. He has to get a background because they're the new characters that are added to this dynamic, but he was on my screen too damn much with his mom. Okay, we understand. With the way he was interacting with Henry's mom, his stepmom, we could tell that there were some issues there. We could tell that there were some issues there. And he kept coming back on my screen every time I thought we were going to be free of Seth. Because, he had been kicked out for the umpteenth thousand time because he's a sick fuck. He kept coming back. He kept coming back going, I know. We know. We know. So why are you still here? Why are you still here? Bringing fish. Okay. They probably handed him that fish. Gretchen and Guest probably handed him that fish. He didn't do anything. Second time he comes back, I know. And his plan is to go out and murder Kieran at sea. That was his plan. That was his plan from jump, was to go out and murder Kieran at sea. And I don't disbelieve that he also didn't plan to murder Raph when they got further and further up. So he comes back every single time to kill somebody, hurt somebody, manipulate somebody, be a camp counselor for no fucking reason. He's weird. He is so weird. When he said that, was it the first episode or the second, where he said that he took his girlfriend's cat, and Kieran was like, what? I was like, what? What do you mean? That's not normal. That's not normal to take someone. He said it in some sort of joking way. That's not normal. That is not normal. Should I try not outlining my brows today in foundation? I kind of don't want to. I don't want to dig back into that powder. I'm going to try it. If it looks crazy, I will go back. Okay. When he said he took her cat, my red flags shot up, almost fell off the flagpole at this point because he's a creep. That's not something a regular person does. It's not. He absolutely did. I forget the girl's name. forget her name, but Nancy? That cannot be right. He did something to her. Why was she tasting mouthwash in her mouth? That is so sinister and wicked. He did something to her. He did something to her. He just like, of course there is a history of violence. Of course there is a history of being very possessive and obsessive over women. Of course there is. And I'm glad the show stuck to that. This is not a one-off thing. Violating somebody's boundaries is not just a one-off thing. You continue to do that over and over and over again and over and over and over again. And there's a pattern. And lo and behold, there was a pattern. I am shaken to my core that he's in charge now. I am sitting here, I'm unsettled right now, thinking of the fact that he's in charge of all these impressionable people, and he's going to control how their lives go on a, let me check my notes, a deserted island where there were jaguars on one, there might be poisonous, whatever the fucks, and now we have a tumultuous group, the boys, trying to infiltrate the family over here, my girls. So I'm shaking right now. I'm not doing well right now thinking of that, because he's a freak. And I want him to stay away from everybody else, but now he was given the wheels to the Deathmobile. Like, him being picked as the mole was, compared to like Nora being the mole for the other island, is clear that Gretchen wanted to not, I'm sure the island would have imploded with Seth being there or not, but he definitely made matters infinitely worse, and picking him as the mole, she set them up. Are you kidding me? Nora is, I don't know how Nora is doing this to her sister. I don't know how she's doing this to her sister. I think that's a wee bit wicked, to be honest, to do this to your sister. But Nora's not a cold, violent teenage boy. Kidnapping cats and shit. Doing who knows what with mouthwash and shit. No. She's trying to save her sister, and she, as we saw from, season 1 was a while ago, she's like, has no real strong sense of self. To Seth, who's a emotionally manipulative demon. Two very, very opposite choices for the mole, and indicative of how Gretchen's wanted said islands to go. Because really, like, how does that, because she went in and she went and searched for Seth with all his issues. You went and found, and this was your choice for the mole. That island was doomed before the plane even crashed. Island was doomed before the plane even crashed. Everyone on that island, he was picked. She probably centered the whole island around him being the mole, because he's like that. And the show stuck to it. Did not rehabilitate the character, did not try to say, oh, he's misunderstood, he's this, that, and the third. They even did the whole little like, him trying to tell Henry, him drowning him. Oh, let me not forget the attempted drowning, the attempted murder was love. Like, they tried to do that for a little bit, and then it was a crock of shit. And it was exposed as a crock of shit. And for that, I am happy with the show. He was on my screen too damn much, but at least that was the message was there. Not good. Not good, ma'am. Not good. Not good. He was gonna kill Raph later. That's why I'm very happy Raph just whacked him in the ass, because he was gonna kill you too. There was no way. And the way he was trying to like get in his head, why aren't you doing it? Because he knew Raph's a little weak. He knew that. That's why Raph defended him. And he knew once Raph defended him in the first place, it was a wrap from there. Oh, the humanity, the lack of. It's very, he's twisted. He's quite twisted. I need a paper towel to clean out this powder. This is what my face looks like so far. I'm using all the same products. I'm just trying out this, foundation. But those are my thoughts on the devil incarnate on the show. And when he was when was he saying this? When he was like, I'm not the devil on the island, death is. I would beg to disagree. With your murderous tendencies, your homicidal ideations, I would disagree. I would strongly disagree. And they all did disagree because you ended up being kicked out permanently. And wicked. Okay, moving on. Next person I'm going to talk about is Bo. I don't have much to say about Bo, except every time he was on screen, he made me sad. His whole like mini backstory, because we didn't get as much from the boys as we did from the girls in the past, because they were new this season. They don't need it. It just made me sad. Just made me sad. His dad, to hell with you. He's plane crash wrecked on a deserted island organizing cups to make himself feel better. Like, what did you do to him? We saw, what did you do to him? What, you got a child, forcing a child to force organization? It's not giving. It's not giving. And every time he did anything, it made me very, very sad. Like, you're evil because you made him this way. I had nothing else to say because we didn't learn really anything else from Bo, but he made me sad. And they're still stuck. I can't be like, I hope he gets better, because now there's the island is still here for who knows how long. But I'll move on to Scotty. His relationship with Bo is bizarre, but it's not the biggest issue here. It's not like really bizarre. It's just Scotty's clearly the leader in such situation, but a leader would also listen to the people that they're leading, and Scotty does not do that. He kind of steamrolls Bo a lot of the times. Until Bo has to like finally be like, no. With the food, how he was trying to like why, if you were trying to hide food for yourselves, why didn't you ever hold the food? Why was it always Bo who was holding the food? Like, if Kieran had found out and rightfully beat his ass, like he would have beat his ass, not yours, even though it was your idea to hold and hide the food. So I'm like, why didn't you ever put yourself in the dangerous situation? Why did Bo have to be the one to do it? I didn't like that. I didn't like that. Like, however, he is very ride or die for Bo. Like, he wasn't letting Josh talk to Bo all types of crazy. That was ridiculous. I'll get to Josh in a second, but that was crazy. I understand where he's coming from with like saving the food for themselves, thinking for themselves, like there's a bunch of rich kids stuck on the same island as you. There's no riches here. There's no riches here, but I'm not gonna tell them what to do. They put the food back. Like, what would have happened? I'm sure he thought about this, but what would have happened had the jaguar sniffed out the jerky in Bo's pocket and attacked Bo? Because he was walking around with turkey jerky in his pocket in the woods. What would you have done then? What would have been the reaction then? Like, it's acting first, thinking later, but not even acting first, getting someone else to do the acting for you. I don't like that. Secondly, homophobic on a deserted island. Are you serious? Again? Who has time for this? Homophobic to the only other black person on set again. Check my notes. Deserted island. There was an apology, and after trying to just do the thing that parents do, just laugh their way into not saying I'm sorry, I'm glad Ivan said, no, we're not just cool like that. Like, imagine that. You have no food. You're gonna be drinking salt water anytime soon. There's an unbeknownst animal chasing you, wanting to kill you. You're dealing with the epitome of white boy violence and fights on a daily basis. You are all sunburnt to hell, and still homophobia. I guess it doesn't rest. I guess it cannot be tamed. Word to Miley Cyrus. I don't know. I don't know, because that was wild. He apologized, fine. But you know what? It just stunk to me. It just stunk just a little bit to me. Okay, next person, next point we're going to talk about is Kieran. I feel several things about Kieran. One is tragic, and for that there's really only one reason for that. No father. That coach was his everything, so that was tragic. But he did blackface, so not that tragic at all, but tragic in the sense that that was clearly all he ever knew, the only person who ever maybe liked or loved him, the only person that wanted to help him, i.e. save him, something that he really felt a need to do with Josh. But he did blackface, so we can't care too much, right? Now to him and Ivan's little fight. I don't know if I've ever seen anything on television that did this type of plot line before, or like lesson, or what they were trying to do. And it was interesting, because I didn't know exactly where it was going. And like, I'll tell you what my takeaway from it was. You would not have been able to be baited if you didn't want to say that slur in the first place. That's one. I will start there. You can't get baited if you don't grab the hook. It won't happen. If that slur wasn't already in your mind to say to Ivan, it would never have come out of your mouth. Okay? That's the honest truth, I think. But he was baited. Oh, that scene was horrible. He was baited. He was baited in that. And secondly, on the island, like, I think he has a right to be angry at Ivan for what he did, like with Seth, and with like, Ivan wasn't really defending Seth. He was like, maybe we shouldn't just leave him to die on an island. You could have, in my opinion, but that's not everyone's point of view. Like wanting to bring him fire and stuff because you didn't have any grace for Kieran. Ivan owes neither of you grace, but I guess you can be a little like jolted, like, why are you giving grace to him but not to me? He owes neither of you grace, but like, come on. Okay. Clearly Kieran trying to save Josh in a way maybe he wanted to be saved. We didn't know his whole full life backstory, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good. He didn't let nothing happen to him besides mentally and emotionally. He didn't let anything physical happen to him. Like, he became his bodyguard, like, without wavering, and was like, okay, now my job is to protect you, because clearly we have violence on this island, and I liked him for that. Probably because he is not, as we can clearly see from his very clear lack of leadership skills. Like, if you were the captain of the lacrosse team, how did the lacrosse team do if you have no leadership skills? I'm just confused by that. So no leadership skills. So, but like, clearly not that emotionally intelligent with all the immediate resorts to, immediate violence. Although I think he should have gotten some more licks in on Seth. That's just me though. So he tried to help Josh in the best way he knew how. Was that the best for Josh's healing? Absolutely not. And I'm gonna get to that in 1 second, but he did try his best. Did him trying his best, in my opinion, make things a little bit worse for Josh? Yes. Tragically so, yes. But he tried his best, so I have to be like, you did try your best. I'll give you props for that in a tough situation. So I think that was that. Oof, my powder went everywhere. That was that. Oh, the goodbyes when he went out. I don't know why on earth he got on a boat with Seth. That was, and their idea of sending a peacemaker didn't make much sense either. Certainly not the first person to jump behind Seth's defense. That was not the smartest person for a mediator. I don't know who was thinking here. Clearly nobody. That was the theme of the whole island, the whole boys' island. No thoughts, just vibes. But the goodbyes of sending him off were very cute. Clearly it had an impact on everyone there. So he maybe has good leadership skills in theory. In practice, it's not giving. But they all said goodbye to him. Nobody said goodbye like that to the rest. So those are my thoughts on Kieran. Now, after Kieran, we're going to talk about Josh. Beyond tragic. Beyond tragic. I'm not gonna bring that back up, but what happened to him was beyond tragic. Ivan was really the only one looking out for him for real. He was being a Debbie Downer with saying, why are you making sex jokes right now? But he was completely correct. Josh was not doing well. Josh is still not doing well. Now they're at the new island, and the abuser is the one running the show currently. He was not doing well back then. He's still not doing well now. And it has not been addressed because it's all, we can't have emotions. I'm tough. I'm gonna deal with it the best way I know how. And the best way he knew how to was to take on Kieran's entire personality, because something like that would never happen to Kieran, which is not even necessarily true because we don't know Kieran's life, but that was very, very tragic, and it was clearly a trauma response, and it was like egged on by Kieran because he didn't know any better. He didn't know any better, but kind of like did what his body told him to do in order for him to get better. It didn't really get him better because now he's trying to pick on Bo, trying to be faux tough. Like, that was disturbing. Like, why did you do that? What was the point of that? And I know their hug was supposed to be like an apology, but men are so ridiculous. I'm gonna need a little bit more, because that you said some very, very, very out of pocket things to Bo for little to no reason. I can't have that, and that makes no sense to me, but it makes sense in context of a situation. I wish they hadn't tried to like shoot Ivan down completely for being like maybe someone who just experienced sexual violence should not be joking about these things right now. But that is not what happens on Toxic Masculinity, Isla Paradoxa, apparently. So that's really sad. It made me very sad. I don't even want to think about what Josh is gonna have to deal with on this new island. My head will probably explode. Ugh. Just sick. That was very, very sick, and that was not what I was expecting. When by any no, that is not what I was expecting at all. The trigger warning was at the beginning of the episode, and I was like, okay, maybe something like really bad happened to one of them at home. No. No. That was horrifying. That was horrifying. Beyond horrifying. Oh my goodness. Like, she put Seth on that island. Gretchen is so wicked. She put Seth on that island, knowing his history and his past and what he likes to do. But anyway, that's Josh. Next character is my favorite character from the boys' camp. There's a brush hair somewhere on me. I can't see it. Anyways, next character is my favorite from the boys' camp, Henry. Absolute favorite. That's my king. He's hilarious, first of all. Finally, someone with humor that makes sense. Finally. He's hilarious. He's always correct. and he should have gotten at least 3 opportunities to slap the absolute snot out of Seth. Seth was trying to tell him, this was ridiculous. He was trying to tell him, and he was being serious, that the attempted murder of his stepbrother was him trying to showcase love. And it's extra insidious that he was trying to be like, that's comparable to like, my love is the same love that your mom has for you. Trying to like dig in on his like very clearly strained relationship with his mother, because you are the problem, Seth. You are the issue. Trying to use that to say there's alternative ways of showing love, and trying to insert your drowning in there is sick. It's sick, and I'm very happy that Henry caught the bullshit. I'm very, very happy he caught the bullshit, because honestly, truthfully, like, Henry has a right to resent you. Henry, but even before everything you did on this island, Henry has a right to resent you for having a sort of different relationship with his mom. Like, that's not abnormal. Like, that's his mom. He's not as close with her as you two are. He can resent you for that. Is it like nothing morally against that? Like, that's a normal human reaction. Leave him alone. I needed him to stay at least 6 feet. When they were having that little conversation in by the waterfall, back it up. Absolutely, because you're wild. You're a freak. Get away from him. Get away from him. And he's gonna stay away from him forever. I wish we had learned more about him. I guess season 3. More about him and not him related to Seth, because I don't really care. But I assume there'll be more about him, more about Bo, and about Scotty, actually, because they didn't really get... Scotty was kind of just told through Bo's sort of little backstory. So I'm assuming we're gonna get more about like them in season 3, because they're gonna go on more adventures in season 3. Very scared, but I really liked Henry. He was my favorite character. I thought it was hilarious. That's what him and Ivan are the only 2 characters I laughed out loud at when they were talking. So next character and last character from the boys camp is Ivan. I really like Ivan. I think he's hilarious. I think he says a lot of stuff that I would say if I was stranded on a deserted island. So self-insert. His episode, to me, it like fascinating in like a way I've never experienced before. I've already said Kieran did not have to say what he had to say. If you like, you can't be baited if you weren't already thinking like that. So I can't really care too much that, you know, he had a bad consequence happen to him for saying something that he clearly already had in his head. However, Ivan did not need to push him. And the reason why Ivan did not need to push him is because Ivan should have listened to anything that was coming out of Kieran's mouth. He could have even paused and looked at the way. No one is distraught like that over their like lacrosse coach. Like, even if you have like the greatest relationship with someone who's your coach, you're not reacting like that. You're not reacting like you lost a family member in most cases. Like, I don't think Ivan was paying attention to anything Kieran was doing. I think Ivan was practicing what he was gonna say next in his head before he said it, which I think was the point of like the plot line, to like showcase what harm can come from doing that. If you had stopped practicing and heard him say, he said he provided me with Thanksgiving and meals. Now, in your head, because your boyfriend recognized this, why would a lacrosse coach provide one of his players with Thanksgiving and meals? Why would he have done that? Why would he have done that? It would have taken, because it took your boyfriend 3 seconds to figure it out and be like, maybe we're going a little bit far. Maybe he would have figured out that was clearly his father figure. Again, that does not excuse or justify him calling him a slur at all. But there was no point in baiting him in that situation. there was no point. There was no point. There was no end goal to that. And it resulted in an even worse end goal, because now you got, I don't know if he got expelled, but Ivan got in trouble too. So you see how, what was our end goal? What was our end goal? What was our end purpose? If you did something so muddy enough that they also said, you need to get out of here too. I don't like that. I don't like that. But if you hadn't called him a slur, this would have never happened. This would have never happened. I don't believe, for this like little plot line, I don't believe, at least what I'm not interpreting it as, feel bad for Kieran, cry for Kieran, and Ivan is the asshole, like poor white blonde boy, this kid baited him into doing it, he's so sinister and evil. He would have never said that had he not been baited. Yes, he would have never said that had he not been baited, but clearly he had some words on his mind. Clearly he didn't need to repeat it back. He wasn't going to. He was being baited and he wasn't responding back, and then he finally did respond back. So you knew it was wrong to say it first. Why didn't you just stick to that and not say anything? So I didn't interpret it as that way. I wouldn't feel like how I feel if I thought that was supposed to be the takeaway, is that like cry for Kieran, Ivan is the villain. But I think part of it was like, is it always necessary? Is it always necessary? In seeing someone, like, that was not someone crying over their favorite coach getting fired. And then you hear him say Thanksgiving and meals. That was not someone crying over their favorite coach being fired. He lashed out and was homophobic, and he should be punished for that. But in that context, was it necessary to push and push and push? No. Two things can be true. What's the word? Two things can be true at once. That was just sad. Like, his boyfriend had to be like, you crossed the line. And then it was bad enough that he said, I'm done. It was disturbing enough to him that he said, I'm done with you. And to go and tell the principal. It was hurting his heart. It was hurting his conscience for him to break up with his boyfriend and then rat his boyfriend out to the principal. It was really damaging his conscience. That is wild. I have never seen, like, I've seen scenes like that, but not with all this other stuff around it. The Wild is such an interesting show. Because I was wondering, I was like, how are they going to match up with the absolutely convoluted, batshit crazy plot lines from season 1? They showed my ass. So they showed my ass completely. So that's it for them boys. Now we're here to why we're really here. The girls' camp. So I'm going to go through all the characters again. So first we have up is Rachel. I really liked seeing Rachel's, I don't know if we can call it growth because they're still stranded. It won't get better until they get off the island for real. But we can call it growth in context in this season. From her starting out from not being able to like do anything, mourning Nora, which... The fact that Nora's still alive, what are you getting out of this that you would psychologically torture your sister like this? What is Gretchen providing for you? Because it seems like nothing, because we don't even know where Nora is now. It seems like nothing, you're getting nothing out of the situation besides playing a mean trick on your sisters and 7 random strangers you don't even know. That's besides the point. She went from that to like getting everyone together. It was such a family vibe, found family vibe, bringing them back together because Martha, I'll talk about her in a second. Seeing Rachel get stronger and becoming more sure of herself, seeing the contrast from after that wicked coach had to ruin my sister, you are still going to hell. I need you in prison. In a television show. Oops. because you're very sick. So seeing her become more sure of herself, I really, really enjoyed. I'm just just like how terrified I am for Seth to now be running the show. I am so scared for what will eventually, when she eventually finds out that Nora was like in on this whole thing, because they're all now on one island. They are bound to find out. I'm terrified, because that's why I was like, I wanted Shelby and Fatten to go scream it to everyone to meet, but then I'm like, oh shit, how is she going to react to finding out her sister like not only brought her here as a reason why she's here, even though Rachel blames herself for being here and blames herself for killing her, finds out that she was the mole the whole time and was working with the people who were keeping these teenagers on a deserted island for funsies, for an experiment nobody signed up for, and that Nora had was able to communicate with them. I'm very scared. I'm very scared for that. I have to be perfectly honest. I'm terrified. I'm downright terrified. And to make matters worse, the violent, the evil other mole is now gonna be running the circus. I'm wondering if that jaguar was placed there or if that was its natural habitat. I don't put anything past Gretchen, actually. And I don't know, was it in the second episode they wanted me to cry for Gretchen? I have never laughed hard in my entire life. Clap if you care. Clap if you care that Gretchen has problems. Clap if you care. Anyone? No. I wouldn't put it past her to plant dangerous, wild animals on an island. And I would, from that, if Seth has access to anything that can make their lives even more of a living hell, he will. And that's why I can't sleep until they announce the season 3 date. I can't sleep. I need to know when I have to prepare myself for, how long I have to prepare myself for. Because Gretchen running the show was one thing. Seth, who is now vindictive against every single one of those boys, and he clearly hates women. So where do we go from here? It can only get worse. So do you see why I'm distraught? Do you see why I'm distraught? I hope so. Back to what was I talking about? Rachel, love her. I love all the girls. Oh, I forgot to say, my favorite characters from the boys, Henry. Duh. Next. Dot, still Queenie to this day. First of all, everyone would be dead without Dot. So let's give it up for Dot, everybody. Let's give it up for Dot, everybody, because without her, no one would be alive. Everyone would be dead. Everyone would be hungry. Everyone would be thirsty. Dot is Queenie, and that's just what it has been since last season, continued into this season. Always will. She always is going to be in charge and save people. She got Martha. She carried Martha through what kind of rapid waves? What are those called? Rapid falls? Whatever the hell those are called. Across a river. That's Queenie right there. And Tony, I love you, but she was lashing out. That was so disrespectful. What she said to Dot what she said to everybody was so disrespectful, but what she said to Dot was that was uncalled for. You know she's been taking care of everybody since her dad was sick and dying. You know she's been taking care of everyone since the day she got on the island. Yes, the day that it finally broke her was the day that Martha happened to get turn catatonic. But you didn't need to come at her like that. That's Dot's only thing, is helping people and being in charge and being strong. Maybe she doesn't want to be strong today. We didn't need to come at her throat. When Tony lashes out, she goes straight. She doesn't waver. She goes straight for what she can hurt you with the most, which is very sad in and of itself. But oh Oh, that was uncalled for. That was especially, girl, you know she already feels like shit because she can't do anything because Martha was the rock of the camp. You did enough. I understand, but it stuck a spear in my heart. I was like, damn. And I was very, very sad. So it's like, I can't, you guys were doing so great together. So great together. What happened? We're fine now. Not really, but it made me sad. But anyways, next person is Shelby. What did Shelby do this season? Not much. Her and Tony were in love for a bit. She said she loved Tony, freaked Tony the fuck out. Freaked Tony the fuck out. Then her freaking out about having to maybe being saved and having to go home was the saddest shit I've ever seen. She's more free to be herself in hell than she is back at her home. What does her pastor father have to say about that? Have to say about your daughter feeling safer in hell than in your house? Because I know you really believe in that shit. So what is your answer to your crimes? Isn't he Mr. Peloton boy? What is your answer for your crimes, sir? Because that's a crime. That's a crime. Her and Tony, I hope, will be fine. I think that's don't mess with that. So I think they'll be fine. But that got very, very sad because she said, I know all you see when you look at me is like a chance that Martha could have been okay. Realistically, she was not getting that damn boat. That boat didn't even look real. It looked like a figment of her imagination. So realistically, it's okay, but emotionally, it's fine. It's fine either way. But Shelby's everyone had a little breakdown. Everyone had a little breakdown, but still nobody was violent towards each other. How interesting is that? Had a little breakdown. It was very sad to watch. I'm glad Fatin was there, and I'm happy it was the two of them who figured out that Leah was correct this whole fucking time, because Shelby's gonna figure it out. Now she's like, okay, if we can get off this island and make Tony love me again, let's do it. And they didn't even have to for long because then rescue came. But that's probably making matters even worse. So now we're gonna have to put it up into 10 gear because now we have to get off this. The island that they're on now looks even bigger and looks even more woodsy. So I'm terrified. It's gonna have to be Inspector Gadget 24/7. And next character is Tony. She's so afraid of love. She's so afraid of being loved. She's so afraid of giving love. It's very, very, very sad. Lashing out. I mean, she really is not gonna she's not gonna just drag you. She's gonna curb stomp you if she wants to lash out. It's not gonna be some like anything childish. It'll be something that your deepest insecurity. She's coming for your neck. She didn't need to come for Dot like that. She didn't. This is my thing. I would not want to be in her eyesight when she's lashing out. When she was going around in a circle, like just coming for everyone, I would have left. I would have snuck my ass away. She would have said something even meaner about me running away, but I can't hear it because I'm running away. Like saying Fatin is just doodling. Girl, you've been on this island for how many months now? 3 or 4. That's not true. I think like 2. Let her be crazy and doodle. Everyone gets one weird thing they do. Fatin doodles. She's really looking up everything the mole wrote down, but let's say it's just doodling. What's wrong with doodling? Nothing else seems to be working. You've been here for 50 some odd days, but it was understandable because Martha, like breaking down, was like quote unquote unexpected, but I'm gonna talk about it like it was, I guess it was kind of expected, but like shocking to still see. And clearly Martha was like the glue of them because when she went down, everything got bad. It started getting better towards the end, which is always, yes, you know, found family. They're gonna be great with each other all over again. But she really was the heart of that island, of that little friend group, because it all went to shit when her brain said, no, I'm done. But Tony, I really need you to be okay with being loved. Like you're not trash who deserves nothing. And she's hopefully learning that, but someone needs to tell her like completely blanket, like directly. You deserve love. Like, I hope her and Shelby will work out. I really think they will. But that was all very sad. This whole season was sad. I keep saying that. This was sad. This was sad. This was depressing. Yeah, all of it was. Next person is Martha. Where do I start? You know, I was wondering how her going against what seemed like a pretty core belief, like a fundamental like thing for her was gonna go. I thought because it's been a season, like a little bit, that I was like, okay, maybe it wasn't that deep to her. I figured, ooh, that was terrible. But I didn't know it was gonna go that far. I was like, oh shit, she hurt like a live animal who had babies. What happened next? I could not have guessed that for the fucking life of me. I could not have guessed that was how that was gonna go. That she was going to skin rabbits alive. Like I could, that was nowhere even in my field of vision whatsoever. Because wow. Like, this show is crazy. This show, cause what makes actually perfect sense, but what? My stomach was churning, about to vomit and throw up all over the place because I was disturbed. I was so disturbed. Oh my goodness. She's better now, which is fantastic, but like better physically. We don't know about better mentally. Maybe a little better mentally because she was able to come out of that state, but I can't get too excited about her being better because they're still stuck in the same hellhole. And now with the tumultuousness of the boys being there, nothing bad can happen to her again. So what are we gonna do, guys? What are we gonna do? That was horrible. I have to move on because that was horrible. Okay. Next character is Leah, who, truth be told, I think is hilarious. I think she's funny. I think she's weird as fuck, but I think it's hilarious. She'll say the most random things to situations or like react with the strangest faces, and I bust out laughing every single time. It was so funny. It was so funny. Like, she's crazy, but she's likable now. At least to me. At least to me. She moved from being like annoying crazy to like just being funny. Like, she made me laugh. She's awkward. It was hilarious to me. But she's always fucking hallucinating. She's always why did nobody sit her down and be like, no more wandering away from the group, Leah? No more. You need to stay here with us, or you need to have a buddy. We need a buddy system. I don't know why they didn't have a buddy system on the island. Like, now with all those people and Mr. Seth running the show, we definitely need a buddy system. But back then we still needed it because she was always hallucinating. Every episode, hallucination station, always someone needed to intervene. And she was right the whole fucking time. That's why I have respect. Even when I did find her annoying, she was right. So I have to have respect. I have to have some respect because she was right. She was right, and there's nothing I can do about that or you can do about that. She was correct, and she still is correct to this day. Even now, stuck on island number 2, she is still correct to this day. Like, she knew something was off from jump. That's intuition you can't buy. Maybe she's gotta be a little crazy for that. That's something you can't buy. That's something that you are born with. I wish you could have used it on that very evil old man trying to groom her, now succeeding at grooming her. Disgusting. Disgusting. And them, didn't they try to use that to get her to talk to them so she could call the guy who groomed her They don't give a shit about kids, Gretchen and Guess. They don't care about kids. That's whole claim is ridiculous. You are not, one of them is a psychologist, I think. You need to revoke that whatever license you have. You don't care about the well-being of nobody. She was gonna call the man who groomed her. That was your big reward. I like Leah. She's moved up my favorite characters like significantly since last season. I just think she's funny. She says ridiculous things. And then last but certainly not least is my queen, Fatin. Loved her from last season. Still one of my favorite characters. Every girl is my favorite character. I will not choose. You will not make me choose. Leave me alone. I wish she had done more this whole season, but those last 3 episodes, we got to the meat. We got to the meat of what we were actually doing here. She figured everything out. Because I was like, you really holding on to Nora's notebook. Because I'm like, Nora clearly, she wrote it in code. She was drawn in her notebook in code. She always had that damn thing. I'm happy it was her who figured this all out, because she really was like, she started off the season up to Leah's neck, being like, stop putting these crazy ideas in her head. And so for her to find out that she was right all along, it was delicious. It was really, really good. Her finding all the clues in the notebook was gold. It was gold. It was drama gold for me at least. She went from squaring up to Leah to like being in love with her, and she can't wait to tell her that she's right. I hope, it doesn't seem like they blurted it out on the helicopter ride to wherever the fuck, but I hope she got to tell her like, I believe you now. I hope some sort of eye contact was said, because she was right the whole time. Deaf in love, that's obvious, like please. Leah waking up from her hallucination, swimming in her hallucination. That's something. Swimming in her hallucination. Waking up to hearing Fatin screams, please. Please, please, please. And that's also why I don't believe you guys when you say that you have no like fan cam promo for this season. It doesn't involve the boys, because that, please, don't make me do your job for you. Like Fatin is climbing trees for her. Climbing trees, Fatin. Go back and watch season 1. Fatin is climbing trees to like prove that she was right and doing something for her. Please, don't play in my face. Don't play in my face any day of the week. That's love. Okay, those were all the characters. So, common thoughts of this season. Did the boys ruin it? To say they made it unwatchable is dramatic, in my opinion. This is all my opinion, by the way. To say they made it unwatchable is dramatic. Were their plot lines as interesting as the girls? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But not unbearable. So I think you guys should stop it. I'm not in the business of defending men though, so I'm not going to. So y'all have fun with that. They were there, definitely they were there, and I enjoyed some plot lines. I find some of the boys likable. I like Ivan and I like Henry. I like Kieran's character. He disturbs me, but he disturbs me like in a, how do I describe this? Like the least he could have, like, okay, him defending Josh with his life was like bare minimum, but on that island, people did not meet the bare minimum. So in terms of like story, where did that cardboard come? Anyway, sorry. In that like in that show, like there was really the 3 of them, not Henry. It was like Seth, Kieran, and Ivan that got like their stories told. So I really can like, those are the only ones who got anything really told about their life. Bo got a little bit, but like Ralph got a lot, never mind. But like, out of the ones who got their stories told, it was an interesting episode, him and Ivan, and them two being the ones who came from the same school and being such like, was interesting. It was interesting. I find his character interesting. My favorite characters are Henry and Ivan. And then I'm not picking from the girls. You will not make me. You will not make me. I enjoyed some plot lines. I found some of the characters likable of the boys' camp. Guys, I'm so sorry. Boys were a part of Gretchen's experiment. Blame her. Call Gretchen up on the phone and blame her. Go jump her. I'll support you. I will support you in jumping Gretchen. I have no issue with that. But yeah, boys were a part of her experiment from the very beginning. So if we want to blame somebody, let's blame Gretchen, and I will join you in that. Don't worry. I think this season was definitely a setup season, which is why give me the date for season 3 now, because this season was clearly to set up for season 3. That's why all the boys did not get a background, because it's gonna come in season 3, and season 3 is about to be the craziest shit we've ever seen. And that's saying something when it comes to this show. That's saying something, because it's about to be the craziest shit we've ever fucking seen. I hope it all ends with them all jumping Seth as a family. If he can't fall on the spears, I need him to be jumped. I think we'll get more of like the boys' development definitely in season 3. Like, it's just season 2. This is a show, I like to call this a show with intention. This show seems to be making a point to make, like, this is not a Hot Pocket Netflix show. We're making seasons. We're weaving plots together between seasons. That's what I'm getting from this show. So like with Scotty and Henry and Bo even, they were just in someone else's backstory, but this show was trying to create overarching stuff. Their stuff is probably gonna, hopefully, gonna come more in season 3 to, like, because the boys didn't get a lot of development. Seth was still on my screen too much for my liking. He was still on my screen too much for my liking, but whatever. When I was watching, I'm sure someone has actually sat down and done the math, not me. When I was watching it, it felt pretty even between the boys and the girls' storylines. It might have not been. You can probably tell me if it was not. But when I watched it over a week and a half. No, way longer than that. I took like a week-long break in between because I was taking finals. But I was watching it pretty spaced out. Maybe that was why it felt like it was pretty even to me. So let me know if you binged it, if it felt like unevenly distributed. There will be so many plot lines now because they're all on the same island, twice as many people, sicko at the wheel. I'm scared. I'm very, very, very scared, but I'm excited because this show moves with intention. Scenes are purposeful, parallels are purposeful, character design is purposeful. Like, you have Seth and Henry versus Nora and Rachel. That's fascinating. That's fascinating. Like, like Scotty and Bo, Martha and Tony. Like, Tony would have never, I don't think, would have ever been like, let's keep food from everybody else. Did she do that? No. Because that would have been a little out there. That would have been, I don't know, a lot with you all stuck on the same island together. But it was interesting seeing those parallels written. Character design and arcs, while we only saw a couple started from the boys, seemed to be purposeful, seemed to be heading towards a common not a common purpose, but a purpose. Not just, here's a season, do what you want. Here's another season, do what you want. Connect them if you want to. It seems like there are connections there, which is why I want to rewatch season 1 before I rewatch season 2 again. The dynamics of all of them together is about to be a little nutty. But let one of them hurt one of the girls on that island. I will jump to the screen myself and take care of it. You don't have to worry about it. I will jump to the screen. I will resurrect the Jaguar from decay, like Kronos, and it'll do my job for me. So don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. So don't even worry about it. But yeah, those are all my thoughts on season 2 of The Wild. Let me know what your thoughts were on the season. What did you like? What did you didn't like? Season 1, is better than season 2, I will say. But as I was watching this season, from at least for me, from like the first and second episode, I was like, oh, they are setting up for season 3. You know, when you watch shows that have 5 seasons now, and you watch a season, you're like, okay, this was to set up for this major plot line. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So I think we can all calm down, is what I'm saying. I think we can all calm down, because it was good. It was not as good as the first season. It was not, but I didn't expect it to be. They had like twice as many characters. They did do like a lot of moving parts. They still kept the plot lines insane. So, you know, good on them for making sure to keep that stayed from season 1 to season 2. Crazy plot lines. That stayed, so I respect that. But yeah, I had fun watching it. I didn't think it was unwatchable. I did not think it was unbearable. I thought it was actually very enjoyable. So we can leave that alone for right now. Interesting takes, interesting decisions made, but it seems to be done with intention, which is why I need season 3 now. End quote. So yes, in case you didn't know, season 2 of The Wilds did come out. It's on Amazon Prime. You should watch it. There's 8 episodes. If you haven't seen season 1, watch season 1. Don't. This is not a jump in show. This is not a jump in show. It's not one of those. It's not one of those. It's different. This is television. This is real television, okay? So that's it. That's all of my thoughts on The Wild season 2. Let me know what your thoughts are, what you think is gonna happen. Actually, tell me what you think is gonna happen in season 3 with them all being on the same island. Do you think just let me know, because I have thoughts, but I don't want to put that in the universe. I don't put that in the universe, so I'm not going to. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to check out some of my recent videos, they should be on your screen now-ish. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, all of them are linked in my description box. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you're staying safe and healthy best you can. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.